Hey guys, how's it going? So it's Wednesday afternoon, early evening actually. Got our branding all done, chores are all done. I'm just out here, thought I'd show you this. So for you guys that have been following me since last fall, you'll know I spread manure out in this pasture area over this hill, and I basically stopped right here where my hand is, so you can see the difference in the color in grass. See, like this stuff over here is a little paler, and then basically right in this area going up the hill, it's a lot darker green color. And this is just natural prairie grass, so you can definitely see, and it's not so much on top of the hill, but even on top of the hill, it seems to be growing better. Like, see how dark that is out there? So we basically went from that slough edge, and then, it's hard to, from the bush out that way, all the way back to the south towards me. This whole area was covered with manure. It's looking pretty good. And then we also did a little bit out that way, but I ain't gonna bother taking you over there. We'll rip through the one pasture over here, and what we call our west pasture, and we'll check out the Triticale. On average, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. This rain should really make a difference with it, like huge. But I be honest, I do have one crop that we seeded last year that I am not happy with at all. And I'll show that to you guys also. They won't have to be fed tomorrow. Oh, rocks. Pay attention to where you're driving, BP. Anywho, let's get over to the Triticale. Alrighty, so this stuff, it's a learning curve for me. But anyways, you can see the swath, heavy chaff areas, or where the crop was lodged really bad last year, like the barley. Lots of it fell down on us, burnt up, shelled out, blah blah blah. Long story short, where it was heavy chaff, even though we baled the straw, but where it was heavy chaff, and well, the baler doesn't pick up that fine chaff, so the crop, the fall Triticale, it didn't come through that swath area, that heavy chaff area. Like right here, see all this trash? It's not coming through this stuff worth of shit. I did harrow it after we seeded, but I should have harrowed it heavier, harder. But as far as this goes, you know, this stuff is up 4 or 5 inches already, with next to no rain, just moisture that from the snow melt. But see here, so I'm gonna have dead spots in my crop. I can see that. I'm not planning on spraying it this year, so I'm gonna have weed cover. You can see the weeds and see them little bastards over there. The worst part of the field is this side. It's a lot better over that way. But even in some of the swath area, you can see it's starting to poke through, it's starting to come. So this rain should help. Bring that through. What kind of a crop it's going to end up being, I don't know. But if nothing else, it'll definitely be worth our while for a cut and bale green feed type crop, and also a potential to harvest, if I wanted to harvest some of it anyways. I suppose I could spray it if it's not too late. I don't think it is. Hit it with some 2,4-D, something cheap. Knock those weeds back and give the crop a more fighting chance. But yeah, you can see all through here it was really heavy chaff in the swath, and it's not coming through that worth of shit. But it's a learning curve. The optimum thing that I should have done, I'm thinking in hindsight, was hit the field with the disc and roll that ground, and then this would have been a lot better of a stand. I wouldn't have so many dead spots in it. Most of my weeds, and I don't know what the hell this white flowered shit is, but that's what it is. Pretty much everything that's coming right now, it's that stuff. I think that's like what they call flicks weed or something like that. There's some more there. Anyway, I'm gonna get to the next field. I want to show you that. I'm not happy with it at all. Alrighty, so this is a 72-acre field, and we just seeded this to alfalfa grass last spring, and I would expect this to be a lot heavier than what it is. At 9.5 pounds an acre, there's areas where you really struggle to find it. And then there's areas where it's coming up really nice. But it's all over the page. Like, there's gonna be a lot of dead spots in here. It's not even at all. For whatever reason, I don't know why. It was seeded, the whole field was seeded on the same day. We seeded it the same way I've been seeding all of my grass alfalfa mixes. But it just looks, to me, it looks like crap. Now, lots of guys tell me, get it in the ground, get the seed in the ground. Sometimes it'll take 2 years to get decent establishment. So I guess that's what I'm going to be going with. But I'm not. It looks better now than it did a week ago. I'll admit, I'll say that much. But I'm still not overly impressed. How wet is it over here? Well, grass coming over here anyways. CP and I were working on this fence line the other day. Well, about 4 or 5 days ago. And we were not happy with what we were seeing on the headlands, but Fuck, it really took off in the past 4 days with that heat. It really started coming on. Maybe it just needed time. But even still, like, you see that? It looks really green through here, but that's a lot of weeds. Dandelion and friggin' thistle and you name it, it's out here. And I can't spray it because I'll kill the alfalfa. Yeah, like all through here on this headland area, I'm not happy with it at all. And it had lots of moisture because the snow was all piled up in this area. Yeah, it's very sparse. Like there's a little bit right here, but then there's more weeds and more open ground than there is alfalfa. The grass usually comes later. And we've got smooth brome, meadow brome, and Timothy for grass out here. It had lots of moisture, and oh god, there's the dandelion. You can see the yellow little bastards already. I guess we'll just have to give it time and see what happens, right? Yeah, we were out here working on this fence line, pulling trees off the wire, and oh, it was just a mess. Look at all the moles. All the mole activity. See that? Crazy what them little buggers can do. Voles and moles. And then you get your gophers and your friggin' badgers chased after that. Oh well. Alright. I'm heading back to the yard. Supper time is now, so we're gonna go have some suppers and call her quits for the day. We'll talk to you guys later. Just brought you back to the opposite side of the Triticale field, and you can see over here there's less chaff in the swath area, and here it's coming a lot better. But on my fingertips, it's above my wrist on average to the top of the plants. So that's 6 inches. So that's all right. If we don't have a hay crop to cut and bale, we'll have this stuff to cut and bale. Later. There's water laying. We got a little bit of rain. The driveways are deceiving. We never got what they were predicting us to get. Like, original prediction was for 20 mils yesterday afternoon / last night. That never happened. But we did get, what the heck was it? I can't even remember right now. I think we're sitting at just under half an inch. So not bad. It's a start. It's definitely a start. And we're supposed to get another 5 to 10 mils here this afternoon. And stuff like that. So 5 to 10 this afternoon, another 5 I think for tonight. So I can live with that. We pull off basically 3/4 of an inch from now until tomorrow, and then another roughly 5 mils this weekend at some point or other. This will definitely give all the farmers in our neck of the woods and going east to the Manitoba border a break. They could catch up on some shut-eye if they've been pulling some long hours trying to get their crops in the ground. Them grain farmer guys. Us, we haven't, as you guys very well know, I haven't even looked at grain farming type stuff yet. I don't got much to do, and what I am putting in the ground is all meant for cutting and baling. So I'm going to seed it theoretically a little later than your standard crop would be seeded, because generally for like green feed oats, it's like 60 days until you start cutting and for baling. And if I was to seed it right now, that would put me mid-July, and that's right at the same time that we generally are busy cutting and baling hay. So we're gonna wait until more or less the first week of June, and that'll put us in August for cutting and baling, providing it doesn't burn up like it did last year. Anyway, I gotta close this gate. I'm just doing a little bit of feeding here this morning. Not much is gonna be happening, so I'll bring you guys back a little later. Alrighty guys, since 6:30 when I checked this thing before, we were at 11 tenths. So we got another 2 tenths since this morning. So that's alright. Let's see if we can make, by tomorrow, let's see if we can get that sucker up to 3/4, or basically 20 mil. CP's basically got her garden in, outside of tomatoes, peppers, like plants that are already growing. She did not put those in, she didn't transplant, but all of the in-ground seed is done. So this rain will be nice for her garden, even though it is going to be colder. And she said she spread her grass seed in this dead spot. This is where we used to keep the camper. So she's got grass seed spread all through here. So we'll see if that stuff will germinate and get going. Anyway, I'm going to go in, have a coffee, and wait for the insurance guy. You guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.